Finally got the leak repaired underground from the lower pond to the upper. There's a pipe that goes along here to the swimming pool pump I have buried in the ground. And when I first put it in there, I had used some of that. Right here it is. This corrugated tubing like they use on swimming pool pumps. It was with it, so I used it. Well, it's kind of weak and developed, especially underground. It developed some leaks somewheres, some cracks. And what was happening was I was noticing my ground was staying wet where it was buried, and my pools were filling up with muddy water. So I dug it up and replaced it with Schedule 40 PVC. Now that water is going to have to cycle for a little while before it gets back clear again, but it's not got this. It's not. When I say muddy, the water looked like this over here before. So we've got it going back on, starting to pull things back around it. A lot of my water plants froze. My water hyacinth that are floating there in a basket. I've got my cattails over there. I've trimmed them all back and floating them in a basket. And yeah, they don't look very pretty right now, but it will get better. My greenhouse experienced a bad freeze and it all looks ugly right now. That's just the way it is when you're trying to play God with God's creation. He shows you sometimes that you just don't really know what you're doing. Usually, you're just doing your best to mimic what He's already done. So, anyways, I had to catch them all to clean it out. I emptied all the water out and caught all the goldfish. Used a shop vac, vacuumed all the mud from that hose, that tube that was sucking mud and putting it into my ponds. Some places there was probably 1.5 inches or better of muck in the bottom of the pond. So I took all the water out. I saved what water I had that was already acclimated for the fish. I did have to put some chlorinated water with it out of the hose, but goldfish are pretty tough. And that chlorine will be gone before you know it. And the plants, these water hyacinth, let me see, they've got some really good root systems that are very capable of cleaning the water. And that black is their natural color. That's not stained. So that's why I kind of laid this one right in the waterfall to help filter the water for right now. I've also got here my little tubers for the little kind of miniature lily pads that I had last year, and I'll get them planted somewhere in here. So come this next spring and into summer, this thing ought to really start looking nice again. There's actually a buried or a sunken pot over in that corner that has some reeds in it. I don't even remember the name of them right now. They're very, very fine. Like not even a third or a quarter the size, the diameter of a pencil. Reeds that grow in a clump. So I've got some over there. So when all this stuff kind of comes back together and my frozen bananas are rejuvenated, and all these vines that are frozen, we get them going again, we'll get our little jungle back. It'll happen. So just want to show it's reality. Things happen. Got to put my stepping stones back down through here and clean all this mess up. I'm going to be I got this bark off of an old oak tree that had been felled in a storm, and the bark started releasing from the wood. I took some big chunks of it. I've just got them propped up there right now, but that's a big old steel pipe that my pump stuff comes up through. I'm going to attempt to glue this bark to that and cut it, whatever I need to do to make it look like a big stump. that the overturned pot is sitting on top of. So that's going to be a project. And then over this pump in the ground, I've got a wire cage there that, if everything goes right, will be used. I've got it kind of shaped. They don't look like much right now, but I'm attempt to use maybe some expanding foam and make a fake rock to cover that. So we'll see. It takes me time to do this stuff. It won't happen very quickly, I promise you. But that's what we have going on right now. And just wanted to give an update. I haven't been on here in a while. Been working crazy hours and really been pretty disgusted with myself for allowing the greenhouse to freeze. My propane furnace went out on me right after I bought $300 worth of propane, and such is life. I went and purchased, there's one there that's kind of running, and another one here, some industrial type shop heaters. They were used, they're electrical, and they both got problems. The bigger one behind me, it's not even coming on right now. The some electronics in it got fried. So anyways, there we are. There's a dose of reality for y'all. You feel like you were by yourself and losing stuff like I feel like sometimes. You're not, and we're not. I'm tripping all over my stuff here, pardon me. But my papayas, I'm a papaya tree. It froze, they froze, they're mushy. I threw them down, they're just going to become mulch in the floor. Look at my dragon fruit. No, that's not an albino. That is frozen. Damn it. Frost damage, whatever you want to call it. My avocado. Don't know if it's going to come back or not. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in it, but hey, in real life, even in the wild, catastrophes happen, and God's creation has a way of rebounding and coming back, and a lot of times better than it was before. So we just get to see it in our little world we've created here with this tropical stuff. The citrus is still looking really good. They don't mind a little bit of cold. They even like to put on some fruit and flowers while it's freezing outside. So that's a calamondin, by the way. Got a lemon over there that's blooming. So all the citrus is looking good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My peanut butter plant that's the worst it's looked in several years. But hoping and praying that it comes back. It had actually flowered last year and dropped the flowers. I was hoping within the next year or two to start seeing some fruit on it. We shall see. God bless in all you're attempting to do, and I hope you are faring better than me. But if not, hey, spring is coming, believe it or not. We will get to have another stab at this. We have to replace some things, replant some things. Hey, gives us the opportunity to change things that we didn't like to begin with, don't it? That's me. That's my little tour for the day today. And I can't even remember the date. It is somewhere January 27th, I believe. Saturday night. Just to go to bed so I can get up on time to hit Sunday school in the morning. God bless.